How is it going today? Lord, my name is Dwayne.
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne Jazz. Today we have for you Film Theory, Attack on Titan's biggest mystery solved. And if you, why I say like the solved? Solved. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh my god. If y'all haven't watched Attack on Titan
season 3
and you're not updated, don't watch this video.
Do not watch this video.
I feel like it's gonna spoil it for you.
Spoiler alert already in the beginning.
And y'all gonna blame it on us.
Do not blame it on us. But just know season 3 by far has to be the littest one.
Yes.
I love like those little conspiracies, those government conspiracies, because we conspiracy theorists ourselves. But they did an amazing job.
I feel like it applies.
It applies. I think it definitely applies.
But
anyway. If you guys haven't registered, please follow us on our social medias in the link in the description below, and don't forget to
subscribe.
Let's dive in.
Welcome to Film Theory, the only show to recognize that the best way to stop a skyscraper tall titan isn't building a stronger wall, it's lining the outside of the city
with another
Legos.
wall.
Look at those bare feet. Lego's gonna be more effective than a spike. Anyway, as you can tell,
they probably should place traps like that down.
Action horror anime, Attack on Titan. Now, if you're unfamiliar, check out the last video that we did about it, or quite frankly, just watch the show. Series.
You're right.
If you're into anime and overwhelmed by which shows you should be aware of, this is definitely
one of them.
It's one of those franchises.
It's on the most popular page. I must look at it.
Anime for years to come, kind of like Death Note and Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
anyway,
love them.
3-sentence
Full Metal was amazing.
Brotherhood.
Yeah, Brotherhood.
In cities protected by towering stone walls designed to keep out the man-eating giants known as Titans. One boy named Eren Yeager becomes a soldier, and years later discovers that he has the ability to turn into one. With Eren's new power, humanity finally has a fighting chance against their ancient enemy, but reclaiming the world will still be an uphill battle. Especially when you consider that Eren tends to get kidnapped more often than
there's undercover agents and stuff.
No surprise. The biggest reason I love watching Attack is that it's packed to bursting with unsolved mysteries.
Yes, that nobody can understand.
Why the heck would the Colossal Titan knock down the wall in the first place? And this newly introduced character last before, oh wait, never mind, they just
done.
One question that's been hanging over the series since the very beginning. One that is the single biggest driving mystery of the entire plot. What exactly are the Titans? Where did they come from? Now I see you running down to the comments to shout, Titans are people! And yeah, I am very well aware
we get it.
Every Titan, there's a human nervous system piloting it. It's like some kind of horrifying zombie flesh mech. But that doesn't tell us
where did the first one come from?
What their origin is.
Right.
While the human body can do some amazing things, one thing I'm pretty sure it can't do is suddenly grow to 20 times its size. At least, not on its own. The laws of physics are pretty clear about that.
Because the humans can't do that.
Create matter from nothing. So when Eren and the other humans transform into Titans, all of that instant Titan.
I already knew who the female one was.
Something has got to be making that
didn't even have to tell me.
Analyzing the physical characteristics of the Titans, we can figure out exactly what it is, solving the show's single biggest mystery before it's ever revealed. Now, the most obviously unusual trait for the Titan is, of course, their freaky faces. But right after that, the thing that stands out most about them is their size. Excluding abnormal Titans like the Colossal Titan and the Beast Titan from Season 2, Titans range in height from
and the Beast is a mystery too.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Because he's fully like conscious of what's happening and can speak.
That is pretty darn enormous.
How big did you get? 21 feet 65.
Stop bragging about yourself, Ant-Man. We heard you the first time. Or at least those of you who watched my recent theory about Ant-Man and the Wasp heard it. And if you did, you'll remember that, due to the square cube law, increasing a human body's size by that scale dramatically changes the ratio between its weight and effective strength, making it much harder for the body to move and support itself. That's why, at 60 feet tall, Scott Lang's movements have to be so much slower and more careful. His body is supporting much more weight than it's designed to. And since Titans have bone structures that are very similar to humans, you would expect them to be a lot slower than the humans fighting them. But that's not actually the case. In the anime, we see Titans running towards their human prey, picking them up with the precision and agility of a regular-sized human. Even at a full 15 meters tall, Eren's Titan form is capable of breaking into a sprint and using hand-to-hand combat techniques, making for a human a tenth of his size. The reason for this is explained in episode 15 by Hanji Zoa, the show's resident Titan expert, and apparently Digidestined.
I killed a 3-meter Titan out of spite. It weighed next to nothing. Contrary to the appearance of density and great mass, the severed limbs were light as tree bark.
Despite gaining a
I'm
lot
not
of
used to
volume when
hearing
they
that in
transform,
English.
yeasts don't gain an equivalent amount of mass. They're lighter than they should be, which both explains how they can move so quickly and
Why he look like he
towards
was
an
striped down the
interesting
catwalk,
conclusion.
though?
When Titans transform, some matter is being added to their bodies, but what's there is also expanding, like a balloon or a loaf of bread rising in the oven. That's the only way they could be increasing in size without also increasing proportionally in weight. And as strange as it sounds, the bread comparison might not be that far off. The thing that causes bread to rise is yeast. A single-celled fungus that, to put it very simply, eats sugar.
Eating sugar?
No papa.
Oh no!
And then poops out alcohol and carbon dioxide.
I've been seeing that all over
for
Instagram. I
fermentation.
cannot.
What is that?
I don't know what show it is.
Link it to us.
I don't know what show it
Can
is.
we react to it?
But I just see this weird 3D CGI baby that looks too big for a baby and a dad, and then he's like getting a cookie or something, and if he gets a cookie they're like singing a song, and then he's like, oh papa, and like papa comes in like that dad, he's like, are you eating cookie or something. I might be saying it wrong, and he's like, no papa, what's behind your back, not papa. Like it's weird.
I've
It's a
seen it, but
weird
I've seen the
thing.
meme picture
I might be
memes.
singing it wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like it's weird.
I've seen the picture memes. I just don't know what's going on. Anyway,
I don't know where if it's a fan
can we
service
react to
thing.
it?
I
Link
don't
it to
know.
us. Let us know if we can
I don't
react
know
to
if
it. I
it's
want to
fan
react to
made,
it.
but it's just weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get back into it.
This trait makes yeast invaluable in the production of beer and wine and has made it a vital component in baking for thousands of years. The gases created by yeast create pockets of air inside of bread dough that causes it to rise and gives the final baked good a light, fluffy texture. Or at least that's what I've learned from baking 5
Deliciousness.
seasons worth of the Great British Baking Show. And yeast is also what's caused the Titan epidemic in the anime. You're
Really?
right. The true villain in Attack on Titan
Is
is
yeast?
a bread leavening agent. Bread is Titans! And
What?
Titans are people, so, oh god, we need to stop Sasha before she kills again!
I remember when she
It sounds like a
did
stretch.
that.
Well, good, because that's how you activate yeast. But seriously, the yeast theory accounts for some oddly specific quirks of the physiology of Titans.
Okay.
Firstly, Titans are hot. And
Sure
no,
they
I'm not
are,
talking about
hella
the
hot.
female Titan's
Right.
exposed muscle look that
Oh,
leaves
my
almost
lord.
nothing to the imagination. Get your minds out of the gutter. I mean that the Titan bodies give off an insane amount of heat. And the bigger they are, the hotter they tend to be. While
Right.
regular Titans are hot to the touch, the colossal Titan can cook anyone trying to attack him with a burst of hot steam. And the massive Titan that Rod just transformed into in the anime is so hot
Spoiler
that
alert.
trees burst into flame just
And that's a
from
recent
being near
episode,
it.
so-
Now look at yeast. As yeast ferments, it gives off heat. It's an exothermic reaction. If the fermentation process speeds up or more alcohol is being produced, that temperature rises. Bigger sizes, faster growth, more heat. With bigger Titans, the fermentation would be happening at such great
Everything's so
volumes and
scientific.
speeds that
Right.
the resulting heat would cook the air around them. We can see clear evidence of this whenever a Titan is wounded or dies. As their skin
As it's
breaks
like
down and
smoke
decomposes,
and everything.
massive amounts of gas are released all at once, sometimes with enough force to blow away the soldiers trying to fight them. This
Right.
gas would be the CO2 that's being produced by the yeast and that's keeping the Titan bodies inflated. And then there's the way that Titans take in energy. Despite having a hankering for human flesh that rivals my own cravings for Diet Coke, Titans don't actually need to eat humans for sustenance.
What is
thing
it?
that Titans actually need to keep their insanely huge bodies moving is sunlight. In episode 15,
Wow.
he proves
So
this
they're
by
like
covering their
plants.
two captive Titans, Sunny and Bean, with tarps, causing them to stop moving entirely in just
Right,
a
remember that
Oh,
episode?
yeah.
And the Titans discovered inside the walls after Aaron and Annie's wrestling match at the end of season 1
That was
are
scary.
also
That was
shown to
hella
be completely
scary.
immobile due to a lack of sunlight. You know what else draws energy from sunlight? Yeast. When exposed to ultraviolet radiation from the sun or other sources, yeast becomes more active, growing, reproducing, and fermenting at a faster rate than normal.
like a
If that
virus the way they're
fermentation
doing
is
it.
truly the source of the Titan's energy, that would explain why cutting them off of sunlight causes them to slow
move
down
slow.
and eventually stop moving. So ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a classic case of yeast infection. Okay, so maybe not
Yuck.
classic.
Oh God.
No, you do not want that,
Obviously
y'all.
Not just talking about normal yeast. I mean, Fat Pat here eats
just gonna
a
throw that
lot
in
of
there.
bread, and not once has it
Throw that
inspired a
in
global
there.
crisis. Just a waste.
I
of
love
time.
bread, too.
Which merits the question: is yeast just just an inspiration for Titan behavior, or is it truly the cause of what we're seeing in the anime? Is there any sort of evidence that the Attack on Titan universe would have some sort of special yeast that could produce these sorts of effects?
And look how they're running, like they're sprinting.
There is. It's subtle, certainly subtle enough that most viewers would probably overlook it, but it is absolutely there. In the publicly available information bonus sections from the manga, which are then repurposed as commercial break eye catches for the anime, there's an entire page
about yeast.
Type of yeast produced
Didn't we get that?
Wall Cena. Reading
We
both
saw the
anime
premiere?
and manga descriptions of it, we learned that this special yeast doesn't come as a powder. It looks like a lump of fermented soybeans the size of a human head. What's more, storing it with wheat, soybeans, or cured meat slows down the decomposition process, transforming the food by some means not yet explained by science. These aren't throwaway details. Each and every one of these pages is something that the manga's writers felt that you needed to know. So it's strange at the very least to think that we need to know this weird little detail about fantasy world food preservation, unless it isn't really about the food preservation at all. You know, there's one other place in the Attack on Titan universe where we see that kind of unnatural preservation ability, in the bodies of the Titans themselves. When we find out Mir's backstory in episode 35, we see her turned into a Titan as punishment for leading a cult, being forced to spend decades out in the wilderness. Eventually, she gets completely buried in the dirt before Bertolt, Annie, and Reiner stumble up on top of her. But when she transforms back into a human, she somehow hasn't aged a day. Something within her Titan body preserved her perfectly for all of those years. In general, there's something preventing the bodies and minds of the human hosts from aging or decaying for years inside their transformed states. And the only thing we know with that property, which also conveniently would explain the Titans' lightweight, gassiness, and their solar-powered physiology, is Wall Cena's miraculous, giant-sized yeast. So the next time you're baking bread, just make sure you eat it before it eats you.
Look, I definitely will, okay? I love bread.
Alright, so that makes a lot of yeast?
Yeast.
Wow.
But see, I thought that they were going to like originally go into like who is the first one.
Me and Jasmine were thinking that.
And where did they come from? And were they always here? Or
I thought he was going to really get into it.
I thought they were going to get into that, not what like makes them move. You know?
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I never thought about yeast.
I didn't pay attention to the yeast.
Yeah, I paid attention.
Because we got an Attack on Titan booklet and we were reading through it and everything, but I don't think we saw anything about yeast. Or if it was there, we wasn't paying attention to it.
Of course not.
So I guess it makes sense.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
And we're thinking like he's going to.
It's a lot of theories.
It's a lot of
the show in general.
The show in general, the backstory is a lot of mystery. We still haven't got to the basement yet. Hopefully,
with his father, like there's a lot to uncover.
And we're not going to spoil none of it for you.
And everything. Well, if they watching this, they got spoiled quite enough. Like it's
right,
pretty.
And they haven't told.
Pretty.
They just told about the yeast and Rod Reese, but that doesn't. They don't even know. If you never watched it, you don't know who Rod Reese is, and you don't know what's happening with that.
Right, okay.
So, they don't know, they wouldn't know. So I would say,
I guess you're right.
Go ahead and watch Attack on Titan because it's a very good anime. Even for those people that never watch anime, watch that because that will get you into anime. If I had somebody to recommend anime to, it would be One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And
well, it's gonna be the regular. They're gonna throw in like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and stuff like that.
But I'm saying those two are some modern ones that will get you like
Full Metal
Brotherhood. Yeah.
And it will be sad. It will be sad. I think somebody asked me that a while ago, like yesterday, for anime recommendations. I don't think I said Attack on Titan, but
Attack on Titan definitely needs to be on that list. Definitely My Hero. My Hero is great. Anyway, guys, please comment below.
Don't forget to like, and share.